Hey guys, Jeremy from Lucky Hat Outdoors, and I apologize for the terrible lighting, but I'm trying to shoot this review kind of quick and on the fly. Today I was wandering around the local Walmart with my knucklehead when I stumbled across the Ozark trail display, and I've been looking for a new water bottle, and I've been thinking about getting one of the insulated ones. And to be honest with you, I just haven't wanted to pull the trigger on $40 worth of Yeti, and these are listed on the Walmart shelf for $9.74. So took a quick peek online, and the closest Yeti in the 36-ounce size is $37. So figured at about a quarter of the price, I'll give it a shot. So this is the 36-ounce Ozark Trail, and they advertise it as being double-walled and vacuum sealed, just like the Yeti stuff, and it's supposed to keep your water cold or hot, depending on what you want. So far, I haven't found anything that I can, other than packaging, that's vastly different from the Yeti. Maybe there's not as good of a visible seal on the cap. So what I figured I'd do is go ahead and videotape it and run it through a few tests and use it for about a week, and kind of let you guys know what I think. Is it worth a quarter of the price? And the reason I'm at my sink is because the first step is to wash it, because none of these are dishwasher safe. So what I figured I'm going to do is hand wash this thing, get the label off of it if I can. Hand wash this thing real quick, and we'll throw some ice on it, throw it outside, and see what happens. And what I figured I'd do is just see how long it holds ice. So it's a really nice, kind of a surprising 70 degrees today here in New Orleans. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cup of ice, I'm going to fill the bottle, I'm going to throw it on my back porch, and I'm just going to let it sit in the sun till about this time tomorrow. And after about 24 hours, we'll just check and see how much ice is in it. Fair warning, I guess, disclaimer, is I actually already kind of did this test, but I screwed the video up really badly. So I have a general idea of how long the ice will last and how much ice will be left over tomorrow. But for the video's sake, we're going to redo it, and I'll just shoot it properly. So it's a cup of ice. I'm going to take it and put it on my back porch and in the sun. Its highs are expected to be 75 today, and we'll let it sit for 24 hours and see how much ice is left over. Thank you, son. I'm talking to the camera, buddy. Yeah? The camera can't see you, man. You're too short. Can I go put this on the porch and then we'll go to the zoo? Of course. Thank you. Alright, well, it's closer to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which means we're well past my initial 24-hour window. Temperatures have gone up a little bit, so it's been closer to the 80s. So this has been outside with a cup of ice in it, in the sunlight, for 29 hours now, and we'll see how much ice is left. Not a lot, actually. Now, after 30 hours, there's a little bit less than a handful of ice left. It's a lot less than a cup, but still, that's pretty good. And I can tell you the water that came out of there was super cold. So while I've got it out, it's the Ozark Mountain bottle, and it's been in the car for about 4 hours in 80-degree temperature. Still cold. I'm really liking this bottle. I'm going to try it with hot water next week just to test it out and see how well it stays hot. But as far as cold goes, I've been really happy with this, especially at the $9 price point. Alright, so far with this Ozark Mountain insulated bottle, I've put ice in it and left it outside in the 80-degree weather, and it held ice to some extent for 24 hours. I filled it completely up and put it upside down, and it left it sit overnight, and when I came back it had as much water in it as when I put it in, so clearly it doesn't leak. I've had it out in the field as a cold water bottle on a ton of occasions, and I'm really liking it as a water bottle to the extent that I've been using it around the house. My one complaint so far as a cold water bottle is with the super wide mouth, sometimes it's a little hard to drink, but at the same time with a thinner mouth, it would be harder to pour and harder to get ice into. So far as a cold water bottle, I'm really liking this, especially at the price point. So what we're going to do now is see how it works as an insulated bottle with heat. So I have filled my wife's little tea kettle thing here with the contents of our Ozark Mountain tin. We'll go ahead and crank it up, let it boil. I'll put it in, screw the cap on, and we'll let it sit and see how long it stays hot. Well, it's 5:46. We'll call it 5:45. The tea kettle is at a good rolling boil, and I'm going to go ahead and pour it in here, and we'll check on it in probably about 8 o'clock and see how it's holding the heat. Alright, so we filled the bottle with boiling hot water at 5:45, and it's now 8:45. So it's been 3 hours sitting around the house. It's about 73 degrees. So let's see how hot the water in the bottle still is. You know, when you feel the bottom portion here, you can't really feel it. When you grab the neck, you can actually feel warm water. Oh, yeah, that's super hot. That's like burn you hot. So I checked it overnight, and it was still really warm. Checked it again this morning at about 9 o'clock, and the contents were still really warm. I'm still feeling a little bit of warmth around the lid here. So it's noon. What's that? Put it in 5. Who knows? It's noon. It's almost 18 hours later. Let's see how the contents are. And they're still warm. They're not super scalding, but if this was coffee, it would still be drinkable. And the only issue I see with that is, again, my house has, been 73 degrees for the last day or so, so it's not been super cool inside my house. And the other thing I just noticed is we're a week, I don't know, maybe 2-3 weeks into owning this, and I just noticed that the gasket here at the top has somehow worked itself loose. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But, at $9 with a Walmart item, an Ozark Mountain item, you kind of expect little things like that to go wrong. I think the biggest takeaway is that this isn't a Yeti. But at a third of the price, it works almost as well. We'll see in a couple of weeks. We'll keep track of it over the coming months. And aside from the gasket, I'm assuming, it's aluminum, so it's not going to break on you. And again, it's third the price. So would I say this is so much better than a Yeti? Probably not. With the gasket working loose now, I doubt it. But it has worked in the field. It's kept cold, it's kept hot, and it's a third of the cost of its next closest competitor. So not only am I keeping this one, but I'm probably going to grab a couple more.
Hey everybody, John from Lucky Hat Outdoors here. If you like what you see, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also check us out on Facebook and Instagram to get exclusive content from our numerous adventures.